Dear students, let us start the discussion on today's newspaper, that is 17th March 2017. The first article, Missing the Spirit for the Body. It is about the activism of the censor board for film certification in India. What are the issues which are being spoken over here? So, in the movie Car Bodyscapes, homosexuality, religious issues, nudity, these are the things which are touched. And there are objections for censor board for film certification. The first is CBFC is a colonial legacy. And second is the CBFC has to function within the framework of constitution. Coming to sexuality, it was celebrated in India from very ancient days. And second, the rights in India are being given to the individual, not to the communities. So there are religious rights, freedom rights to the citizens, not the community rights to get offended for various groups. That's what is the point. And third thing is, the Sham Benegal Committee also has clearly stated that the CBFC has to grade the films rather than giving permissions to screen or not. So, in this context, if you go to the United States system everywhere, a movie will be graded as 13 plus, 15 plus, etc., based on the age groups which are warranted to watch the movie. So, the similar thing can be expressed or passed in India. And Supreme Court also has clearly stated that the CBFC cannot judge the law and order situation to provide for certification to the movies as a criteria. And coming to leaving no one behind, it is about rights of persons with disabilities. The Niti Aayog is coming with 30 years vision document. In this, the author says that there has to be proper data and it has to be compliant with the UN Convention on the Disability Rights. And the 2016 law, which provides for reservations to the disabled people, increases the number of disabilities, and they shall also be seen as full participants to any policy exercise. So, the disadvantaged sections and the rights which are being provided to them under sustainable development goals shall also be taken into consideration when the Niti Aayog makes the vision document. And finally, the data shall be readily available for the Niti Aayog and also various policy formulations by the government, and it has to be structurally developed. And coming to return to normal, this is about US Fed interest rate hike. So in this, the normalcy is coming back to United States of America. Employment rate is increasing, growth rate is normal, and inflation is also raised as expected. So in alignment with this, the United States of America is more shifting towards realigning its monetary policy. So there is a slow and gradual increase in interest rate hikes. So it is the step which is warranted for, because a sudden fluctuation in the rate hikes will pull investments or capital flows away from the developing countries and will worsen the situation. So the slow hikes will provide for the confidence on demand which is emanating from the biggest economy of the world. And second thing is, the fiscal policy stance of the Trump government is also going to influence the monetary policy in the coming years. So the countries cannot take the existing situation for granted, and it more or less depends upon the fiscal policy situation. And second, the US Fed is going to adjust its balance sheets very soon. Means the mortgages, treasury bonds which the US holds, how it is going to do away with them is also going to influence the monetary policy soon. And coming to going forward in Goa, so here we need to understand that the government has been formed in Goa by the BJP, as the Congress did not take the claim for the same. And the Goan people have rejected the BJP for the reason that it failed to provide for clean government as promised. So Goa is known for rent seeking, that is corruption in various mining contracts, tourism contracts, etc. So developing an environmentally sustainable model of development itself is a challenge for the new regime in Goa. And coming to injectable contraceptives, are they advisable? So the government has recently introduced DMPA, dipomedroxyprogesterone acetate, which can be injected once in 3 months and as a contraceptive. So this is one of the choice which was given to the woman. So what are the issues over here? So the fertility shall not be seen as lack of a contraceptive choice, but more as a socio-economic condition. It means poverty, lack of access to healthcare services. This makes the individuals to go for higher fertility rates. And second, fertility shall not be a responsibility of the women alone. Men also shall seek the responsibility in contraception. If you take in India, vasectomies, they are close to 0. Or else, around 0.3% in India. It means that the male participation in contraception is very less and mostly it is female focused. And so the debate shall be on gender preferences with regard to contraception rather than contraception choices. And medroxyprogesterone acetate is also proved to be causing decrease in bone density. So, we need to be careful about women health in introducing such a choice. And above all, it is just a expansion of the basket of choices. It means that the woman shall be given information properly so that she will be choosing the right contraceptive for herself. So with the existing choices, the government is not in a position to deliver them and give them access as and when required. So access and affordability plays an important role in delivering the contraceptive choices. So with expanding the choices without delivering what is being promised will not prove good to the people, prove good to the government. That's what has been stated. And coming to the governor's options, recently, if you take in Goa, an hung assembly has come into existence. So here, Sarkaria Commission has been provided a way out, and it's also upheld by the Supreme Court. In this context, the first is a pre-poll alliance which has got the majority shall be called for, or which has got the highest majority can be called for. And then a single largest party which has been supported even by independents will be the second choice. And a post-poll coalition or alliance is the third choice. A post-poll alliance is the fourth choice. In the previous post-poll coalition, it means all the parties will be a part of the government. Post-poll alliance means some parties will be the part of the government, some parties will provide the support from outside. This is what is the choices which are being listed by the Sarkaria Commission. And then let's get into the business page. US trade nominee for aggressive steps on intellectual property rights. So in India, the section 3D of our Intellectual Property Rights Act are and added to that compulsory licensing. These are major challenges to United States of America. So the section 3D, what it states is this. So any government or any pharma company, if it is going for evergreening of patents, it means by changing a small procedure or small content of manufacturing, it is going to apply for the patent again and again. So this evergreening of the patents is not allowed by the section 3D. And second, compulsory licensing. If public health demands for government of India can offer compulsory licensing to other companies to manufacture a patented drug. So pharma companies are opposing the same. So next is so food drink giants plot fight back as rules tighten. So India is envisioning a fat tax because India is becoming the capital of the diabetes and obesity. So in this context, a fat tax, it means on junk food it's going to impose higher taxation, which is bringing the food alliance together to fight this. So national health policy. So the national health policy envisions an expenditure rise by 2.5% in the case of healthcare. And it also brings in greater role for the public sector centered around the primary healthcare centers. It promises universal healthcare for all, but however, it do not recognize it as a right. So it means the major criticism is if health is not recognized as a right, it becomes an empty promise. It has got slew of measures to improve the health care other than the financial access. So the major thing is tribal research is going to be very much important over here. And added to that, so the delivery of healthcare services to the socially vulnerable, public hospitals to provide for universal access, quality of the services to be improved, and quality assessment in the case of medical devices is also been approved for, and separate manpower will be created for public health management in the country, and the tribunals will be established for grievance redressal. So the existing life expectancy will be raised from 67.5 to 70. And added to that a slew of targets such as maternal mortality rate, infant mortality rate, under 5 mortality rate have also been established. Now, let's get into the news page. So, no rethink on Gilgit Baltistan. Recently, Pakistan has provided RLs. Pakistan is going to create Gilgit Baltistan into a province. It is to protect the China Pakistan economic corridor. So, in this context, what is going to be India's action? India has clearly stated that the Gilgit Baltistan is part of India's sovereign region. Now, I have provided here the notes, and this will be available to you at likes.in/civils prep. Thank you.